उद्योगी आमी निद्रा प्रतिष्ठा लागिया शाठ्य आचरण प्रतिष्ठा लोभ हत सदा कामी अमार जीवन सदा पापे रत नहीं को पुण्येरा लेश अमार ये है नो दुर्जन सज्जन वर्जित अपराधी निरंतर ये है नो शुभ कार्य शून्य सदा नर्थ मनः शुभ कार्य नाना दुखे जरा जरा नाना हमार जीवन सदा पापे रत नहीं को पुण्येरा लेश हमार जीवन वार्धक्ये एखन उपाय विहीन ताते दीन किंचन वार्धक्ये भक्ति विनोद प्रभुर चरणे भक्ति कोरे दुख निवेदन हमार जीवन सदा पापे रत नहीं को पुण्येरा लेश हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Louder, please. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. All should chant. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 हे अमर जीवन सदा पापे रहता नहीं को पुण्य डाले अमर जीवन नहीं को पुण्य डाले पार रे उद्वेग दिया थी जे को तो पारे रे उद्वेग दिया चीजे कथा परे रे उद्वेग दिया जीवे रे क्लेश दिया दिया जीवे रे क्लेश दिया क्लेश अमर जीवन सदा पापे रहता नहीं को पुण्य डालेश अमर जीवन सदा पापे रहता नहीं को पुण्य डालेश. The meaning of the song is, I am an impious sinner and have caused others great anxiety and trouble. I have never hesitated to perform sinful act for my own enjoyment, devoid of all compassion, concerned only with my own selfish interests. I am remorseful, seeing others happy. I am a perpetual liar, and the misery of others is a source of great pleasure for me. The material desires within the core of my heart are unlimited. I am wrathful, devoted to false pride and arrogance, intoxicated by vanity, and bewildered by worldly affairs. Envy and egotism are the ornaments I wear. Ruined by laziness and sleep, I resist all pious deeds. Yet I am very active and enthusiastic to perform wicked acts. For worldly fame and reputation, I engage in the practice of deceitfulness. Thus I am destroyed by my own greed and am always lustful. A vile, wicked man such as this, rejected by godly people, is a constant offender. I am such a person, devoid of all good works, forever inclined toward evil, worn out and wasted by various miseries. Now, in old age, deprived of all means of success, humbled and poor, Bhaktivinoda submits his tale of grief at the feet of the Supreme Lord. शिल भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जय. शिल प्रभुपाद की जय. समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome to our morning discussion, which is continuation of the six anathas. But before that, I thought I'll just speak a little bit about His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who stays there today. Hope I don't take the whole class about him only. I don't know much, but still little for our purification. So Maharaj is a great personality from that Milwaukee, some place in America. He was graduate. His family was very religious, and all. And so he met Jayanand Prabhu, as we discussed. Jayanand Prabhu, while working on the cart, saw one young American boy, said, "Come here, could you come here and help in what do you call hitting the nail?" So he helped, and Jayanand Prabhu was so appreciative. Hari bol, so nice, wonderful. He held the nail, and he was wondering what is holding nail is nothing, but Jayanand Prabhu is amazing. He was so Krishna conscious. So then, by the association of Jayanpuru, Maharaj became a devotee. And then he was brought to India also. At the age of 19 only, he was given sannyas. On the planet Earth, in the Gaudiya Sampradaya currently, he is the uh, senior most sannyasi. As far as sannyas goes, maximum number of years, Maharaj is 50 plus years as a sannyasi. Nobody in the entirety of Gaudiya mission, not just ISKCON, the whole of because he got sannyas at the age of 19 only, and he was given the ISKCON land in Mayapur, and Prabhupada said, take this land, develop it, and enjoy it. So Maharaj has been developing so nicely, wonderfully, and very nice Vaishnav. I saw him for the first time, I believe, in 2001 in Mayapur Yatra, I think, or 2003 might be somewhere. At least directly, when His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj was having some sickness, health issue, so he told His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, could you please lead a group of devotees? So Maharaj led us to Yogpit, and there was roaring kirtan. Maharaj was leading, and Maharaj was like bumper. In early days, used to have huge bumper, this much size. I would play very powerful, well built. Also, seen in Akash Ganga building when they were staying, and Prabhupada introduced his foreign disciples to Natji Prabhu's father. Father was MP in Parliament, so he said that why don't you give Indian citizenship to this Jayapataka, to my disciples, mainly this Jayapataka, because he's going to be the guru of entire Bengal. So you please give him the Indian citizenship. And all the brahmacharis, they were looking at Jayapataka Prabhu. Yeah, guru of entire Bengal is a very lean and thin fellow. How can he be the guru of entire? Well, Prabhupada knew the future, and Prabhupada said he's an eternal associate of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So please arrange Indian citizenship. By Krishna's grace, he's Indian citizen now. But then, so very amazing. And then Prabhupada, because he was lean and thin, Prabhupada told him he should eat nicely, eat ghee and very lean and thin. So Maharaj took it as a very instruction. He has some instruction. I told one disciple, give me. So I have those instructions he received from Prabhupada, and how one by one he has fulfilled. One of them was Durvasa Muni had 60,000 disciples. So you should also have at least 60,000 disciples. Now Maharaj has 60 plus thousand disciples. Haribol, all over the world. Once Chris Gaurang Prabhu got a call in the midnight somewhere, so Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, who is speaking? So I'm speaking from Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Hmm? I'm the what is the chairman or something. Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Midnight. What is that? So what do you want? He said, where is your Jayapataka Swami? So yeah, he's there, but he's sick. He's on wheelchair and all that. No, no, we want him for our one huge meeting is there. We have all our leaders. So we want him to come and address us in Vishwa Hindu Parishad. And all others also will be there, RSS and all that. So he said, no, 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 he's on wheelchair and all that. It may not be possible. We can send somebody else for that program. They said, no, we want Jayapataka Swami only because we have heard and seen and done complete analysis. In all over India, there is so much of conversion going on into Christianity. Only in Bengal, the rate of Christianity, the conversion is very less. And the only reason for that is Jayapataka Swami. So we don't want anyone. We want him only. You tell whatever is it required, we'll do that. But we want him only. No, they were not ready to have any substitute. Nobody in ISKCON we want. We want him only. We want him to address how to preach and all that and have least conversion and all that. So Prabhupada told him he should eat nicely. So he took that instruction very seriously. Also, he offers Prabhupada what do you call rose flower every day. So he would offer earlier also, but now because of being on wheelchair and all, but now also it's a trend. Every day one disciple will give him rose flower. He'll go to Prabhupada. He'll offer. So that is his whole life he has been doing every day. Rose flower to Prabhupada. Like that, many instructions are there. I have in my laptop. So he kept eating nicely because Prabhupada's instruction. He would take it very seriously and he became very plumpy. A lot of you know how he's 50. So then what happened once he was traveling? He is world's now also maybe, but at least earlier, the what you call constant flyer in that number one of the number one or two, he comes flying all over the world. His passbook or whatever that is very thick. All the air hostesses all over the world, the and people in the airports they know Maharaj because so much flying all over the world, so much. So at one airport, he was there at the window counter with that person, and that person, while doing whatever that maybe what do you call it, passport and all that. So then when he looked at Maharaj, he was like death only. And Maharaj didn't understand what happened. But suddenly one man came, caught Maharaj, and cut his neck with a chopper or something, very sharp knife. He cut his. Now also you can see the mark is there. So it was all bleeding. That man almost fainted because right in front of him, that man came behind and cut Maharaj throat. So Maharaj got it and then he ran outside. Then he went to hospital and they operated him at once. They told him that if you would have been delayed a little more time, or if the cut would have been little more, you would have died. We would not have been able to save you. But just because you have thick flesh, and the cut was not so deep, so you were saved. So he said, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada told me to eat nicely. So Prabhupada protected me because of eating so much. So there was a lot of flesh around there. So now also, has anyone seen? All the way from here it begins, all the way it goes. I don't know how much it goes inside, but up to Kurta you can clearly see. Very deep mark is there. And then in 2008 he got that stroke. And then he was in this one, what is that hospital, Bhaktivedanta hospital in Mumbai. So then he was treated. The world's top neurologist was consulted, etc. Then in 2008 only, I think, January, there was Pune Yatra festival under the guidance of His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj in Pune. So His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj came to know in Mumbai that there are around 1,000 plus devotees, maybe 2,000, who are there with His Holiness Radha Maharaj, and a lot of kirtan, pravachan, everything is going on, dancing kirtan. So he developed desire, I should go there. So he called Radhana Swami Maharaj, Maharaj, can I come for the program? So Maharaj, most welcome. We'll be ecstatic to have you. That is okay on spiritual plane, but his body just having stroke and he survived. There are no after survival. If one remains, he is like vegetable only, lying uselessly for rest of his life. But Maharaj did not want to be like that. Maharaj very active. So then he told the doctors there, Radha disciples only in Mumbai, that I want to go for this Pune Yatra, and Radhana Swami Maharaj has given warm welcome, so I'm going. I want to go. They said, no question, Maharaj, how can you go in this condition? And it is 3 4 hours drive, and the road also not always very smooth. So no question. He said, no, 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 I want to go. So many Vaishnavas, I cannot be without Vaishnava. And they were wondering, and it will become Guru Avagya also, disobeying the Guru. So then both Gurus are there no, now. He's also Guru, the Shiksha Guru, and Radhanand Maharaj is their Guru. So they're wondering what to do. So then they consulted the neurologist in America that he wants to go for such a program, 3 4 hours drive and all. So that person said, "Oh, he's God's man." After such stroke, generally one doesn't survive. If he survives, he's lying like vegetable. This fellow is God's man. He's so active. And he is under God's care. Let him go. His God will protect him. So then Maharaj was enthusiastic. So he came on wheelchair in that van and he came and I heard him. It was mind-boggling lecture. My God. What he was speaking, pronunciation was very difficult to understand. So every sentence in English would be repeated in English by one disciple. So that was understandable. So then what he spoke, some pastime I doubt even if I get that pastime and mug it up, still I may not be able to repeat it as it is. So many intricate details, Lord Gaurangas, some associates, some pastime. I was wondering in this condition, how can he have such high class? You know, the brain stroke is not there only as if brain is functioning maybe more than Einstein also. I was surprised. And at one point of time, there were also questions answered because so many Prabhupada disciples, Maharaj, Radhana Swami Maharaj would invite. So then there was question answer. Like devotees are free to act and ask any question. They can tell also, this is question for His Holiness this or her, this lady disciples of Prabhupada also. So one Chit Maharaj got Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj. So it said that Maharaj, sometimes we are not appreciated in Krishna consciousness and for our services in devotee community. So we feel discouraged, means how to overcome something like that. So Maharaj was practically so emotional. He said, "Oh Prabhu, please, do not be discouraged. We don't want anybody in ISKCON to be discouraged. We want all the devotees to be inspired in Krishna consciousness. In case you feel discouraged, I beg forgiveness." Maharaj became very personal and Maharaj, what is Maharaj connection? This is all congregation of Radha Gopinath temple connected to Radha Swami Maharaj. And Jayapataka Maharaj is like a guest, not like his disciples were sitting there. So but he became, it's like a whole ISKCON is Prabhupada's ISKCON. So he said, please do not be discouraged. And I will request all the devotees to be always encouraging each other, never to discourage anyone. And it was very nice lecture. And I could see how much his heart is flooded with Krishna consciousness, understanding this is all Prabhupada's grandchildren and they need encouragement. It was very nice, amazing. I heard long before when there were GBC meetings, one of the, I don't know who was that exactly, our Radhana Maharaj disciple, after feeding prasad to Maharaj, he was taking the remnants of Mahaprasad, Maharaj, Mahama. So then Jayapataka Maharaj came to know. He saw that and he took one and he tested it. He told, don't Maharaj. And then he was in ecstasy. Remnants of Radhana Swami. So simple. He's senior to Radhana Swami, but I heard Radheshambru told us that I asked Radhana Swami Maharaj. Radheshambru asked that Maharaj, I get difficulties in management. I don't know what to do. So many complicated situations. I don't understand. So then Radha Maharaj told him, for any problem that you face in management, the whole of ISKCON India, the best people, only two persons, one is Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and his one is Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They know Prabhupada's all instructions for entirety of operation of ISKCON in India. So any one of them you get anytime, you just connect them and ask them the question about how to, because you are in Indian scenario of ISKCON management. So you could ask any one of them. So Ravi Shankar always asks Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, who is the GBC in Pune, and maybe sometimes Jayapataka Swami Maharaj also. Because they have associated with Prabhupada so much, they know all the instructions of Prabhupada. I think that is all. Some things came to my mind. So His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. Once I spoke in Coimbatore and another time in Tirupati on Maharaj Vyas Puja. I have notes. Somehow yesterday I just glanced at, but it did not click to me that today is his appearance day. The notes are there in this only. Some, but anyway, his glories are unlimited. Conditioned soul like me cannot speak so properly and that too in short time. But we all know his shining example. One more thing. When 2008 Vrindavan Yatra, we were with His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj. So Radhan Swami Maharaj announced that His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj had a stroke and he in coma or whatever. So all the devotees we request to pray for Maharaj's quick recovery and hope we will have him dancing with us very soon. So every day we used to pray. Maharaj very very clearly every lecture end every evening he would remind us that Jagataka Maharaj's health is not good. So all of us should pray to Krishna very sincerely that we want. So we all prayed whole yatra we kept praying only because Radha Maharaj every lecture was that way only. So then after that yatra, somehow Radhesham Prabhu happened to meet a very close confidential associate of Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, senior disciple. So Radhesham Prabhu told him that he told how Maharaj health is somewhat better, but okay, still on wheelchair. So Radhesham Prabhu said, yeah, in Radha Maharaj Yatra, we all prayed, thousands of devotees prayed for the recovery health improvement of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj. So by the prayers of Vaishnavas, he is better. So that disciple told, yeah, that is nice. Vaishnavas praying for him, but don't think that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj will die so easily. That disciples. This is in 2008. Huh? See now it is 2022. How many years are over? 14 years. 14, 15. So he was very clear. Not that he is astrologer and all that, you know. He said, don't think His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj will die so easily. He has a strong desire to preach the mission of Srila Prabhupada. You know, so he won't die so easily because he has lot many more things to do. Like one of them was having 60,000 disciples. So in 2008, 60,000 were not there. I don't know how many. Sometime before I had heard 45,000. So that time he might be having 30, 35 maybe. So he had to cover up that also. So very strong willed person. Okay, anyway. So all glories to Maharaj. We'll discuss about our problems. Amar Jivan Sada Paperat. But one of the ways to get rid of our all anarthas is to hear the glories of great souls, to glorify them. Because they are such pure souls serving the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for decades. So by praising such great souls, pure devotees of the Lord, our heart will be purified, Krishna will purify. And by envying such pure devotee spiritual master, will go to hell. Krishna says to Uddhav in Srimad Bhagavatam that Acharya Mam Vijaniyam na avamanneta karhichit na martya buddha asuyeta sarva deva mayo guru. Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. Know the Acharya to be myself. Hmm? So any guru in ISKCON, you should know that they are great souls, pure. They are acharyas. Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. Know the Acharya to be myself. Hmm? Only. Anyway, about Chapata Maharaj Prabhupada himself has said that he is close associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Acharya Mam Vijanam avamanyeta karhichit. Never disrespect an Acharya. Na martya buddhi asuyata. Because of your martya buddhi, mundane, mortal mentality, don't become envious of an Acharya. Na martya buddhi asuyata. Sarva deva mayo guru. He is the reservoir of all the demigods. All the demigods reside in the body of an Acharya. That's why we worship his body also like that. So one of the ways to get rid of all our anarthas is to glorify pure devotees unlimitedly. Okay, so we'll continue today with the third anartha in the discussion. That is lobha. So lobha comes from passion. In the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 17th verse, Krishna says, Rajaso lobha evacha. I believe in the 14th chapter, all these things are there. Somebody asked yesterday question and I did not answer properly. Uh, that which anartha is arises from which mode? Maybe it is in 14th chapter, somewhere in Bhagavad Gita, or if not, it will be there in Bhagavatam mostly. So Rajaso lobha evacha. So love is coming from passion. It is one of the gates to hell. Trividham narakasyedam karam nashanam atmana kama krodha tatha lobhas tasmat etat trayam tyajit. Because these are gates to hell, one should give them up. So this is also one of the gates. Prabhupada in one place says, in the material world, all distresses are due to extravagance. 8th Canto, 19th chapter, 17th verse. In the material world, all distresses are due to extravagance. Extravagance is spending like anything, lavish life. So because of greed, one earns a lot of money and then spends like anything. Mm, then so this extravagance is not good. One in childhood we might have heard how one poor man was there, poor fellow, not having any house, no hut, nothing, no land only. So he went to the king and said, "King, could you please give me a small patch of land, maybe 10 feet by 10 feet, so that I could have a hut and live little peacefully." So king said, "What are you speaking? 10 feet by 10 feet. I am the owner of all the lands. You run from sunrise to sunset. As much as you cover, all land is yours." All land will be mine, sunrise to sunset. Next day morning, he got up before Brahma Muhurta maybe. He got ready and he was waiting. As the sun started coming up from the eastern horizon, he immediately started running. The condition was he had to come back to the starting point. Ran. Half day was over. Did not eat a single grain of food, not even a drop of water he drank, and then ran for half the day. Now he has to come back also, cover the distance. But then he thought morning hot hours, so maybe a little difficult. I can run for some more time, and then evening sun is setting. It's easier to run and all. So he went little more. Then he thought it's high time. He turned around and he came running. He came close to where he started starting point, but then suddenly he toppled across one stone there, fell down, had blood vomiting, and died on the spot, spreading his hands and legs. So when he spread his hands and legs after death, so what was occupied on earth was hardly 6 feet by 6 feet. But he was asking for 10 feet by 10 feet. And when the king gave the opportunity to cover as much as he could from morning sunrise to sunset, then he wanted hundreds of and lakhs of feet by lakhs of feet. So this is the greed. Wherever there is opportunity, then one when there is some way to satisfy one's desire, then one becomes very greedy. So that is not proper. One should be satisfied, as it is said, as said earlier also, that yadrucha labha santushto dandvatito vimutsara. Whatever comes of its own accord, like that. Anyway, here for him also it looks like array, it came of its own accord, king's offer. No, but one should be having the intelligence also. Prabhupada says that culture means be satisfied with minimum necessities in life, simple living, high thinking. So minimum necessities, what basic needs our body has. We are not body anyway, but a body in which we are. We are not this body, but we are in this body. So bodily maintenance is required. Body requires food, clothing, shelter. How we shelter house once in life. In earlier times, we can see the same house in inheritance, whatever was coming, old house. In that only people would stay. Little repairing. How many of you see in maybe in your childhood or villages? Same house. I remember in every before rainy season, we would climb on the roof and we would remove the that mangalore tiles and again set it right. Some tiles were broken, which was not a problem in winter and summer. But now rainy season, any broken tile means from there water will come inside the house. So we would remove that tile. You understand no? That Mangalore tile you can no? So this much. So then we would remove that and we would put another one. That's all. And sometimes the wooden thing is broken, the support below, they would fit a new one. That's all. The same house would go on. Sometimes painting after 15, 20 years, some painting or sometimes plastering also. That's all. But nowadays the trend is, people keep changing flats after every 5, 10 years or sometimes even every year also. Anyway, many times people don't have flat also. They are flat in the metropolitan cities while earning money. So simple. So food, the clothes, shelter once in lifetime, and clothing once in a year maybe. Dasera, Diwali, Hindus may purchase new clothes, or sometimes marriage is there before marriage they may, but not much also. Food is the daily requirement, twice a day, thrice a day. That may be the thing. But otherwise, one should keep himself very simple. Prabhupada has given so many tips for Varnashram Dharma, etc. That locally grown food only. You have a small land, you have a cow. Cow will give milk, and bulls, they will till the land, 4 acre land around. And the grains will come, mix the grains and milk, have nice foodstuffs, offer to Krishna, and take the prasadam. And also locally grown things only, like cotton and all can be grown there, and from that only make the clothes. Apart from that, from the soil only make the houses. That's a Gokul Dham we can visit sometimes near Belgaum, around 1 hour drive on Belgaum Goa highway, Chikla crossing. So they're very beautiful. They have mud houses, thick walls of 14 inch, and then all the things made up of this only, our mitti. And in that add this chuna to make it very, it's like a cement kind of adhesive kind of thing it acts. Very powerful it. I have stayed there several times. I have gone there. So like that we should live. Simple living, high thinking. Not that then the modern day trend is use and throw. And this is not the Vedic life. Vedic life is use, reuse, and then again use. They hardly throw away, isn't it? In my house, father's house. So I would go. Now I'm not sure. It may be there. That still that palang I have seen that cot, iron cot, huge, this much width and length, more than our height, 6 feet maybe, 6, 7 feet. And irons were very heavy also. But then iron, that's why the lower part rusts and it is collapsing. So my father had kept a brick, and then again it was rusting. Then he kept two bricks. So that side is supported. And when I would go home, even as a brahmachari, so I would sit on that. I would check that. Okay, bricks are there. Like, so no question of giving that away. The same thing will remain. Like generations. They may tell also, ये मेरे grandfather का cot है, मेरे ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर का, पिताजी के ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर या जो भी है. So like that. So we should be like that also. We should not have that use and throw. We should also use, because as I said yesterday, money in ISKCON is Prabhupada's blood. So we cannot waste Prabhupada's blood. We have to very carefully use it. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Some devotees need to go. This you don't have to tell me. I thought it is some question about this greed. Okay, they agreed to attend that program. You seem to be the only devotee of that some devotees. Okay, okay, fine. So you two are some devotees. Okay, you are a great devotee anyway. Mm, so simple living, high thinking. Be satisfied in minimum necessities of life. This will help us not to become greedy. One world's richest man was interviewed on TV, and the interviewers are very cunning fellows, or very smart fellows, so to say, tricky fellows. So he said, "Sir, if you have to tell your ambition in one word, what would you say? Not one sentence, one word only. So what would you say if you are asked?" So you may say, Name Ruchi. But what he said? More. More. I want more money. He's the world's richest man on planet Earth. And he says, I want more. See the irony. See the pathetic condition. कोई भिखारी है, उसका घर नहीं है, ये भीख मांगने के लिए ये नहीं है, क्या कहते हैं वो, बाउल नहीं है. He says, I want a bowl, that is understandable. But ये बाउला, ये पागल, this fellow, world's richest man, he says more. I want more. Will he not have a bungalow or building in New York, in Washington DC, in London, in India, in China, Japan? Everywhere he will have his place. And even if he doesn't have, he can just purchase it without directly involving. That just have for me 10 acres of land in Japan, Tokyo. He can purchase. So much money is there. So many cars will be there everywhere. Everywhere he goes, he'll be staying in five-star hotel. If there is no seven-star hotel, like that. So there are so many in Dubai and all. There are seven-star hotels. Karodpati not allowed. Minimum Arabpati or Kharabpati. No Karodpati allowed inside. Means he cannot afford to enter. Seven-star hotels. Once his Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj had a program there. So very rich people coming there. So that some disciples of Jayapataka Maharaj, they were not getting permission to preach something. So they also, because Radhana Maharaj program is there, so they also said to disciples of Radhana Maharaj, so we also want to come two, three of us. So they came, and at the end, Maharaj was talking to Anshik, big owner and all that, and so many others. So then they also took the opportunity and they said, so we have programs of our thing we want to. So then they said, okay, fine, have. So they also took the opportunity, and that is required also because Radha Maharaj doesn't go to Dubai. So look, Jayapataka Maharaj disciples are there preaching there. So this akanksha is there, hankering more, more. That's why Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati, na kankshati, no kankshati, no akanksha. That I want this, I want that. No. In the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is one nice Bhumi Git where you can see. So she says, how so many rulers on my body? That means Mother Earth, third chapter. So she says, this is Earth saying, seeing the kings of this earth busy trying to conquer her, the earth herself laughed. Bhudevi, Bhumi Devi is laughing. She said, just see how these kings, who are actually playthings in the hands of death, are desiring to conquer me. Great rulers of men, even those who are learned, meet frustration and failure because of material lust. Driven by lust, these kings place great hope and faith in the dead lump of flesh called the body, even though the material frame is as fleeting as bubbles of foam on water. Kings and politicians imagine, first I will conquer my senses and mind, then I will subdue my chief ministers and rid myself of the thorn pricks of my advisors, citizens, friends, and relatives, as well as the keepers of my elephants. In this way, I will gradually conquer the entire earth. Because the hearts of these leaders are bound by great expectations, they fail to see death waiting nearby. After conquering all the land on my surface, these proud kings forcibly enter the ocean to conquer the sea itself. What is the use of their self control, which is aimed at political exploitation? The actual goal of self control is spiritual liberation. O best of the Kurus, the earth continued as follows. Although in the past great men and their descendants have left me, departing from this world in the same helpless way they came into it, even today foolish men are trying to conquer me. For the sake of conquering me, materialistic persons fight one another. Fathers oppose their sons, and brothers fight one another because their hearts are bound to possessing political power. Political leaders challenge one another. All this land is mine. It's not yours, you fool. Thus they attack one another and die. Such kings as Prithu, Pururava, Gathi, Nahusha, Bharat, Kartaviri Arjun, Mandhata, Sagara, Ram, Katwang, Dunduha, Raghu, Trunabindu, Yayati, Sharyati, Shantanu, Gaya, Bhagirath, Kuvalayashva, Kakutsa, Naishad, Nruga, Hiranyakashipu, Rudra, Ravan, who made the whole world lament, Namuchi, Shambar, Bhauma, Hiranyaksh and Tarak, as well as many other demons and kings who possessed great powers of control over others, were all full of knowledge, heroic, all conquering and unconquerable. Nevertheless, O Almighty Lord, although they lived their lives intensely trying to possess me, that means earth, these kings were subject to the passage of time, which reduced them all to mere historical accounts. None of them could permanently establish their rule. So Bhumi Devi was only laughing at their endeavors. So many have tried to have a lot of possessions and all that. But everybody, I heard this Muhammad Ghazni several times he attacked on India, and every time carried so much of wealth. I heard one point of time when he was carrying the wealth, gold coins from India, so they were all filled in a bullock cart. The whole bullock cart, the traditional bullock cart, bull head, and uh, so it was all filled with all gold coins, golden jewelry, etc. And after that, second bullock cart, third bullock cart, fourth bullock cart, I heard that one after other bullock carts, and like that, the start to end was 5 kilometers. So imagine the amount of wealth carried from India to his country, his place. So then he kept it in a huge hall or something and locked the key was with him. When the last moment of his life came, he understood, I may die now. End of this life. So he went running to that place. He opened the lock, entered inside, And he embraced that huge pile of gold coins and gold. He embraced, but it is not a solid structure. So it just slipped over and he just collapsed. And he had already caught many gold coins in this feast and that feast. And then he collapsed like this. His hands opened up. Many gold coins fell down. Some might have remained, which his son will very meticulously will remove. पापा साथ में कुछ नहीं लेके जा सकते ये सब मेरा so nothing you come empty handed you go empty handed but meanwhile while being alive people become so greedy crazy so this lobha is the that one of the two big problems in life that is mama aham and mama ahankar mamakar so lobha is mama ye mera hai ye cheez meri hai mama so it's a big problem. It is personified by Hiranyaksha, as we discussed yesterday. He dug the earth and took out so much of gold. हिरण्यक्ष जिसकी आंख में हमेशा gold है यानी he's always looking for gold. This creed is produced from the combination of Dambha and Maya, who are the sons and daughters. So all this is described in the fourth canto, eighth chapter, I think, just before Dhruva's pastime begins. How all these anarthas have been produced. Brothers and sisters marry. Brother and sisters take birth from parents and they marry and they produce children. So all the anarthas are like that. So from Brahma, I think one son is born Adharma and one daughter is born Mrusha. Jhoot bolna. So Adharma and Mrusha they marry, they produce two children, Dambha and Maya. Dambha is bluffing, Maya is cheating. So both these sister and brother they have sex and they produce greed and nikruti, that is cunningness. So from them, their combination greed and nikruti comes krodh and himsa. Krodh and himsa they have sex and mm, they produce what is that? One is Durukti and one is Kalinga or something. Durukti is harsh speech. So this is how the greed comes from Adharma and Krishna, from Dambha and Maya by bluffing and cheating. In the outside world, you can see how much they do that bluffing, cheating. Even the brothers and all that. I was recently while going to Aurangabad, one lawyer devotee is only sitting next to my water. So I was asking him what all this goes on in the law. So he was telling that how the brother and two brothers can cheat their sister by not allowing. According to law, she has equal rights, Hmm. but they can entangle her so much in the court cases and all that. She will hold her palms and say, "Forget it." They can do a lot of cheating, So, because of the greed. Because one son only wants all the wealth of the father, so he'll cheat the other brother or the sister. Mm, So, and they have to tackle all those things. The government also makes many rules in order to see that there is no injustice to anyone. But there are so many loopholes and so many things. A lot of bluffing, cheating goes on, bribery, lot of those things. So greed leads to also unnecessary eating. Greed comes from Supreme Personality Godhead's lower lip. Hmm, This Virata Purusha. So from his lower lip comes greed and it leads to unnecessary eating. One has to be careful. If one is unnecessarily eating, that means some greed is there. Brahmacharis can be victims of overeating because uh, they cannot possess many things in life. A simple life, not allowed by temple. So then greed is there in the heart. They'll keep eating. At least I accumulated a lot of grain, what you call particles in my stomach. Externally, they are not allowed to amass many things. Okay, so he'll be satisfied. Our Vamandev shows how one should be satisfied by least. When he came across Bali Maharaj, as soon as he was born, he was gifted by so many personalities, so many things. Then he at once goes to where Bali is giving charity. He stands in the line. When his turn comes, he says, "O king, I want three paces of land. Three paces of land." He says, "Oh, that is very small. I am king of the entire universe. I have conquered demigods. So you ask more. If you want beautiful wife, you want bungalow, you want this, that. I will provide you anything and everything. Ask, don't feel hesitant. He said, no, no, I don't. I'm a simple Brahmana, and satisfaction only is very important. If I'm not satisfied, even if you go me with the whole world, I won't be satisfied with that also. And a satisfied man is satisfied with simple things also. I don't want. So he speaks. You can read that section to how to not be greedy, because Vamandev speaks very nicely. And satisfaction is the wealth of a Brahmana. As much as you are not Brahminical in your subtle body, so that much you will be greedy. So your gross body will work very hard. Passionate. Just like no Hussein Shah, for that matter, any king. Here we read also Bhumikit. So many kings conquering more and more territories, even going to sea also to conquer sea. You want more and more and more. You are never satisfied. So that is the greed. Whereas a Brahmana is very satisfied. When that Brahmin was sent by Rukmini Devi to Dwarka to tell Krishna that I'm getting married to Shishupal, I don't want that. You only I love. You please kidnap me. So she sent the message with that Brahman, love letter. And he took, Brahman took, and then Krishna saw the Brahmin, he welcomed, made him sit on nice simhasan, massaged, washed his lotus feet, massaged them, and did arti, gave him prasad. And then afterwards, when that Brahman lied down, Krishna was massaging his lotus feet. And then he asked, so my dear Brahman, are you satisfied? The first question. And the Brahman says yes. He has no demands, no desires. That is a Brahmana. He cannot be thinking that I want this, I want that. If only I have 3 BHK, 2 BHK is not enough. That dissatisfied heart is not a Brahman's heart. That is something else. Maybe Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. Brahman is satisfied. In Marathi, I don't know who, Santa Tukaram or somebody says, ठेविले अनंते जैसे रहावेची तैसे चित्ते असू द्यावे समाधान. ठेविले अनंते जैसे. The way the Lord Ananta has kept you. Devile means kept. How the Lord Ananta will keep you? He's Ananta, He's unlimited. He will also keep you with unlimitedness. Uh, Incompleteness is experienced due to incomplete understanding of the complete whole. C capital and W capital. Complete whole means Krishna, the Lord. All sorts of incompleteness is experienced due to incomplete understanding of the complete whole. We don't understand Lord. That Lord is Ananta, unlimited. So the situation I have been kept by Lord Ananta is unlimited. There is no lacking there. Nothing is lacking in my life. Only lacking is your brain, knowledge. You don't have knowledge about the Lord. So that's why I think, no, no, in my life, this is lacking, that is lacking. If I only have this, then I'll be happy. If I have that, I'll be happy. Like all things only, that will never satisfy. Like in childhood, we thought we should have cycle. I should have cycle. Then only I'll be happy. Then afterwards, you don't want to touch the cycle only, isn't it? In youthful days, it's an insult to be sitting on cycle. Though I think IITians are humble. Do they ride on cycle? Huh? They use. I have seen in IIT Kharagpur also. When I went once inside one for exhibition, they gave me also cycle. So it's Saffron. I was riding on cycle and went to that exhibition where our bookstall was also there, apart from many other religious organizations. That is first time and once only I went inside IIT Kharagpur. Otherwise, the wall always separates us. We're always outside the wall, going to Vice, and inside is the campus. But once I had been there. So one should be satisfied. One should not, I want this, I want that. They said that the wants of the living entity are so many that if he has sky as the paper and make the tree trunks as the pen and all the waters in the creation as the ink, the sky will be falling short, the ink will get over, the trunk will break, the pen will break, but the desires will remain million more still. So many desires we have because of association. Sangat Sanjayati Kamaha, the kind of materialistic association we have had. So we have a lot of desire. I want this, I want that. And that again we have to be careful not to be like we see in Brahmacharya Ashram also. Brahmacharya also developed it. I should also have smartphone. He has, my two friends have. Why should I not have? Because I am preaching. Preaching becomes high class by having smartphone. Preaching doesn't become high class by chanting Hare Krishna attentively. Preaching becomes high class by having smartphone. Because you become a smart brahmachari. So many times in the lectures I tell, don't think that by having smartphone you become a smart brahmachari. Many times you will become ullu only. Maya will fool you like that. But the greed is such, association matters. That's why one should associate with only pure devotees. Pure devotees will always tell us the truth, what you call eternal truth, that you cannot be satisfied by anything of this world. Fish outside the water cannot be satisfied by gulab jamun, sofa set, 3G, 4G, 5G connection, smartphone, MacBook, and whatever economic class ticket in airplane from Delhi to London or New York or Washington DC. Fish cannot be satisfied by any of this. So we have to be very clear. So how to get rid of low? One of the things he says, artha anartha ikshya lobham. In artha, money or possession, artha anartha. You have to see the disadvantages. Ikshya, seeing lobham. That way you could overcome your lobham. This is 7:15:22. Narad Muni, in the later section, Narad Muni is giving advice about the anarthas also, how to that Dambam Mad Upasaya, that is there in the later section. Up to 10 chapters, Narsimha Prahlad Lila, but 11 onwards, Varanashram, how brahmacharis behave, how grahasthas, vanaprasthas, sannyasis, and then Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, how to have proper society. All the details are given there by Narad Muni and Yudhishthira Maharaj conversation. Whole of 7th canto is Narad Muni Yudhishthira Maharaj conversation. In that only Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he saw that Shishupal, after killing, the soul entered inside. So he asked, and then they were Jai Vijay, they came, and then Hiranyakashipu, and then Narasimha Lila, all that. So by discussing the disadvantages of possessing money, having wealth, one can, one should give up greed. Satrajit had greed. He was in the Dwarka and he worshipped Surya Dev, by whose grace he got Semantak money, which would produce 70 pounds of gold every day. 70 pounds, somewhere how many kilogram? Half around, no? 30, 35 kilogram. Can you imagine? Nowadays, 1 pound of gold, that is 10 grams, is 50,000 plus rupees. More, but I don't know how much. 50,000 minimum. 10 gram, 1 tola. 1 tola, not 1 gram, 10 gram. 10 gram, 1 tola is 50,000 rupees plus. So imagine if you have 1 kg of gold and 1 kg of gold daily, he had 30, 35 kg of gold daily. And Samantakmani was shining like anything. So when Krishna came to know, he came to meet Krishna in his palace. When he was coming, then all the Dwarkavasis thought, oh, Suryadev has come to meet Krishna. Great. As such, demigods would keep coming to meet Krishna in Dwarka. So they knew Krishna is Supreme Lord, but still, so today Surya Dev is coming. So they came. Krishna was playing chess. This what do you call it? Huh? Fasa. What is that? What is it called? Chausat. Chausat. 64. Huh? Chaupat. Chaupat. Okay. So, but in English, nothing is called. Huh? Dice game. He was playing dice game. So then they came running and Lord, today Suryadev is coming to meet you. He said, "No, not Suryadev, he's Satrajit, let him come." And when he came and Krishna came to know, then Krishna told him, see, Ugrasen is the king, he should gift him this Samantakmani. Satrajit was very attached. He said, how can I give? So he did not agree only. But afterwards, his brother Prasen carried it in his what do you call it, around his neck, and he went in the forest. There, one lion saw that. Lion was attracted. Lion attacked Prasen, killed him, took the Samantak money with him. Then lion was going in the forest. Then Jambavan, who was staying in one cave there, he saw and what is this fellow? Lion, what is the use of this Samantak money? He can never sell it, never get money and eat pizza pasta with that. So then He had a fight with lion. He killed lion and he took the money. And he was also not attached to any worldly wealth. He gifted it to his son. Small son, he was playing with that money as a stone, something shining stone like that. And then when Krishna here in the kingdom, Dwarka, some people were talking rumors. Satrajit's money is missing, and many are saying that Krishna stole it and all that. So then Krishna, in order to you know remove the misunderstanding, he goes with some Yadavas in the forest. Then he finds Prasen is dead, but after checking his body, the diamond that money is not with him. Then they go ahead. Then they find lion is dead, but there is no money there. Then he sees one cave. He tells all the others, "You stand outside. I will enter in the cave and will see." So when he enters inside, the child is there playing with that money. Krishna sees, and suddenly the lady taking care of the child, nurse comes and she's scared. Who is this who has come, stranger? So she shouts. Immediately, Jamban comes, and Jamban says, "Who is this?" They have terrible fight, fighting like anything for 27 days. And meanwhile, Krishna pounds on Jamban so much, all his limbs are paining. So he wonders, who is this ordinary human being king? How can somebody fight with me and make me have such body pain? He cannot be any other person but my Lord Ram. So as he understood and thought like that, immediately Krishna revealed his Ram form. Immediately Jambavan bowed down. He gave the Samantak money and along with his daughter also, Jambavati. So Krishna in one shot gets two wives. Anyway, then that is brought and long story, but we know that Satrajit, how he then afterwards what happened, that money came back to Satrajit, but then some others, Akrur, Krutavarma, and one more, three of them plotted and they killed Satrajit and they took the diamond, they took the Samantak money. Akrur, Krutavarma particularly killed. So then Akrur did not kill as such, Krutavarma killed. And then when he understood that I'm in danger, he started running, running. He gave it to Akrur and he fled. But then afterwards, his dead body of Satyajit was kept by Satyabhama in the natural oils. Then she went to Hastinapur because Krishna had gone to Hastinapur, Krishna Balram. She said, and she was crying like that. Krishna said, "What happened?" She said, "My father is killed, murdered by Krutavarma." So Krishna becomes angry. Then he comes and he chases after Krutavarma. He kills him, but there is no time, there is no money there. So Krishna knows it is with Akrura, and he's gone to Varanasi. I think he came to Kashi because his father or grandfather was from Kashi. He came to Kashi, and in Kashi there was a lot of flourishing. Hmm? So Krishna understood. It's all because of the effect of Samantak money. But we can see how this greedy Satrajit, who as per Krishna's advice, should have given that money to Sugrasen. He would have peacefully been living. But because of that money, his brother died, killed by a lion, and then eventually he also was murdered, like that. So rather, we see Rukmini Devi was greedy for having Krishna, service to Krishna. Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shrunotam Te. How to overcome greed, according to Narottam Das Thakur in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Lobha Sadhu Sange Hari Katha. So, in the association of sadhus, one should hear Hari Katha. So, we see Rukmini did it because she was the princess, the daughter of King Vidarbha King Bhishma. So, every day, so many sages would come, particularly Narad Muni would glorify Krishna. He would sing, Krishna is so beautiful, how Krishna killed Putana. So, just by hearing in the association of sadhus, so many sages, she heard Hari Katha. And her greed was, I want Krishna. She became mad for Krishna. And then she wrote that love letter. So we see so many negative examples, Satrajit and others. But on the other side, most positive example is of Rukmini Devi, who in the ashram of sadhus heard Krishna Katha and became mad for Krishna. So like that, the same time now, 1 2 hours, instead of sitting here, you all can go and do some business on your smartphone and earn maybe 100 rupees in 1 hour or 1,000 rupees, 10,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh. Some people, they can earn crores of rupees in minutes. That's why devotees go and ask them donation. No, no, I don't have time. I'm very busy. कितना चाहिए ना 1 लाख ले लो. Because if he gives him that devotee 1 minute, 2 minutes, in that he can earn 10 lakhs, 1 2 crore rupees. He said, no, no, that 1 lakh le lo. Please give me that 1 minute. In that 1 minute, I'll make 10 lakhs. इतने busy लोग भी रहते हैं. Crazy fellows. Greedy fellows. So greed makes them crazy. So we should hear Harikatha. So we don't want to earn worldly wealth. We want to earn the wealth of that world. Golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtana. So it's a dhan, dhan of spiritual world. So we want to earn wealth of spiritual world while being here. We don't want to earn the wealth of this world. So be careful. Your campus interviews are coming. Placement. Always pray, oh Lord, Shri Radha Gopal, please place me at your lotus feet. Mama Jan, what is that? Uh, uh, what is that? Sthita Dhuli Sadrusham Vichintaya. Please place me at your lotus feet in the Brahmacharya Ashrama, Shri Radha Gopal, Varanasi temple. Or Shri Radha Veni Madhav in Prayagraj. Please place me. That's the placement. Okay? Na? No other placement I know in the creation. I don't know. There cannot be any placement in the creation in IIT, BHU, IIT University, BHU University. हाँ? है ही नहीं. वही तो जिधर है वो इल्यूजन है. मुझसे सुनो आप, अगर किसी और से सुना नहीं है तो यहाँ कोई बता नहीं पाएगा आपको. सब IIT BHU वाले बोलेंगे हमारे इधर प्लेसमेंट है, आपके इधर नहीं है. तो आप ऐसा कोई बोलता है तो मेरे पास नहीं, वो इल्यूजन में है. उधर प्लेसमेंट नहीं है, उनके दिमाग में इल्यूजन है. IIT बीच में प्लेसमेंट है ही नहीं. They place everyone in the hells. One hell is called as Microsoft, another hell is called Oracle, and a third hell is called as ZS, fourth hell is Infosys, fifth hell is whatever. Google, I think. I don't know. There are many hells as such. Bhagavatam also says 28 are prominent, otherwise there are unlimited hells. So I think there may be some prominent Microsoft and 28 prominent hells may be there. But otherwise there are many more small hells. If you go to Gachibowli in Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, Pune has four areas, Karadi, mm, and many others. Anyway, so that is about greed in short. Any question? Are you ready to ask any question? Nobody is mad for placement. No problem, I think. No question on. Yes. You are you are feeling insecurity for placement? Don't worry, I'll place you. If you are not satisfied with these two, we have Radha Vrindavan Chandra branch. We have Radha Kunjavari branch. I am the self-appointed recruiting officer for entire ISKCON India. So you tell me where you want to be placed in ISKCON branch. We'll place you there. It is my responsibility. With full payment of bliss and no cash in hand. Some ash in hand for sure. And you can work in all three shifts if you wish. Other two shifts. 6 hours you can take a rest. Free lodging, boarding, like that. I have been working like that. I was placed even before I passed out from engineering. They kept my services ready. Only they were waiting. When will give exam and come to ashram?
Because like there comes a time when we think to do normal endeavor like for studies or whatever, but it may lead to over endeavor also. We don't know like whether it is going to over endeavor or it is like
We should do our morning program, 16 rounds, and then reading of half an hour or to 1 hour Prabhupada books, and some services given by um devotees here, assigned services. Apart from that, you are supposed to be going to college and studying only. No other thing. You have conditional duty of college and studies. You have constitutional duty of devotional life. So devotional life is set. Morning program. In that only 16 rounds should get over. If they remain one or two after the morning program. And then reading Prabhupada book, some services within voice or in the hostel, some preaching. That's all.
we are sometimes in dilemma that when we have free time, I think that I should take more service or I should study more like that. I think which one should we do or
If
Like,
there is some need, some opportunity to serve, in a sense, there is some need, they need, and suddenly some ad hoc cylinder gas got over, and nobody's there. So, and you are only visible there. So you may go for it. Otherwise, you can study also. If you feel like studying, you can study, no problem. In our Warangal, I had told them every day, Monday to Friday, 5 days, they have to study 1 hour at least in the evening because morning there are no time. 8 o'clock college. I said every day 1 hour you should study. Monday 1 hour, Tuesday 1 hour. So 5 hours by Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday 6 hours each. 9 o'clock morning program gets over, prasadam, then 10 to 1, and then 2 to 5. After 5, preaching in the hostel, follow up, etc. Same thing on Sunday. Sometimes little bit it would reduce because we would have Maha cleaning of 1 hour on Saturday or Sunday. So 6, 6, 12, and plus 5. How much? 17 hours. It was officially announced by me only. Little bit they it may reduce, so it may become 15, 12 sometimes. But otherwise 17 hours were offered to them. Apart from everything. Services in the voice, follow up in the hostel, morning program, personal reading. Because evening 5 o'clock they come back, 5 to 9. 9 o'clock I would personally switch off all the lights except study room. Compulsory. I would personally be in action. So then 5 to 9, 4 hours. In 4 hours, 1 hour for studies and 1 hour, 1.5 hour for follow, and prasadam half an hour. So still they have time for reading proper books. So everything is accomplished. So this is what I had told them. So this was from my side only. It's like authority or representative of Guru Parampara. If somebody wanted to study more, he can always approach me and I will say, okay, I will adjust your services. One of our devotees, Mukharvind Prabhu, who got initiated by His Grace Vaishishika Prabhu, when he was staying in the hostel in the first year, his computer science rank was 22. When he shifted in the voice, he became the topper. And all throughout for remaining 6 semesters, he was topper. And he would study like anything. So he would study 20 hours per week, 30, 36. His records in the semester time only. And what to speak of during exam, it will be unimaginable by any one of you. So he became topper only. For all 6 semesters, he was topper of computer science. And he tells me many times, Prabhu, because of you, I became topper. I said, no, no, your own Krishna's blessings. Okay. Our authority should be very clear as to how much devotees should study and all that. Not that in the name of preaching, 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 your studies are hampered and you are frustrated inside. You are just thinking, what is this? Kya ho raha hai idhar? Because there is some attachment to material life anyway, like material body, like that. So one may feel like exploited or one may feel some way like that. So it is given. Like I believe the 17 hours is good enough, isn't it? More than good enough for engineering boys. That too, IITs or NITs. And that was basic minimum. If somebody wanted more, he can always approach. Nobody came. "अरे, इतना काफी हो गया प्रभु जी." Only that Mukharvind Prabhu was one. So he would approach me sometimes. I would say, okay, we'll adjust your services. Yes, any other? Hare Krishna.
Probably, I want to ask about regarding my seva. Like, so generally, my seva is like for festivals or like youth festival is coming for like 15th or 16th of April. So my seva in that is like kirtan and bhajans, like doing with the complete band. So what I run behind is like I have agreed for doing it perfectly, or whatever happens. So in the next festival, hearing it previous, and then what all mistake I did and try to perfect it. So that grade is good or what? Like,
Yes, if it is in line with our superiors' instructions, it's good. But sometimes they may not, they may see you going off track in that wrong zone, let's say.
mm, mm,
So they say, Prabhu, इतना मत उसमें ये करो. हो गया, भूल जाओ अभी.
mm.
So then you should know. I should not go in that. It will become deadly for me.
What is that? Like,
So they will tell, ना, अरे प्रभु वो हो गया है फेस्टिवल हो गया अभी ये उसका पिछला रिकॉर्ड वगैरह सुनने की जरूरत नहीं माँ फलेशु कदाचन डोंट बी अटैच टू द फ्रूट्स ऑफ योर एक्शन यू डिड योर वंडरफुल एंडेवर्स वॉट एवर आउटकम थोड़ा इधर उधर हो गया नो प्रॉब्लम ऐसा नहीं कि इस बार आप सुन के अगली बार से ट्राई करोगे वो तो आपके हाथ में है ही नहीं So they may tell like that, so then that way. Or they may say, oh, it was very good. Now you should add this also. Have a guitarist also. So you'll have to search out a guitarist from hostel or somewhere. So as per their guidance, you should go. Then you will not go off track. You will not go outside. It's like within Lakshman Rekha it will be. So safe. Any other? No. So should we go to next? Hmm? Do you have the greed? If you have the greed, you will agree. Agreed, no? एग्री करना ही पड़ेगा. अरे आप प्रभु जी आपने बोला ही इस तरीके से सब चेकमेट हो गए हम और कुछ रास्ता बचा ही नहीं. सब रास्ते बंद कर दिए आपने. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you said that greed is child of Adharma and Mrisa. So, like similarly,
Adharma or Mrusha, they have the children of Dambha and Maya. From Dambha and Maya come greed and Nikruti. Lobha and Nikruti.
so similarly, and these are like personification.
Hmm.
So similarly, all the anarthas, like we here keep all the mantras are also they have personified form in
About
spiritual world.
all the anathas, I'm not sure, but it is all I think in the fourth canto, eighth chapter only, first few verses only, just before that story begins. That Swayambhu Manu's son, Uttanpad, and then Dhruva Maharaj story. So just before that, few verses are there. You may read. I did not read all that now. I just read this much only. So you may read yourself and see which all anarthas are mentioned there as the sons and daughters.
So all anarthas are in personified form.
That's what you read yourself
Okay.
in that section. I told you the section. It's a homework for you.
From the lower lips of the Lord comes greed.
Hmm.
मतलब God is spiritual. These all these anarthas will come only when we come in contact with material things.
Hmm. So that is the material manifestation of the Lord, na? Virata Purusha. The bones, the mountains are the bones of the Lord. The rivers are the veins. The water in the rivers is the blood of the Lord. The grass all over
Those are
is
spiritual. मतलब spiritual body and material body difference will be. That is spiritual.
no, that is not
Lord's.
spiritual. That is not considered. Virata Purusha is not considered spiritual. Universal form. So it has no Vaikuntha world. There's no Vaikuntha world where universal form Vishwarup is existing with his devotees. No, that is material manifestation only.
Prabhuji,
Hmm.
I have one question from previous classes. Can I ask?
Hmm.
Prabhuji, in Ramayana class about Sugriv, you told Prabhuji, like while Vali was in the cave with Dundubi,
Hmm.
Sugriv, like he assumed, na, like when sounds are coming, my brother would have been killed.
Hmm.
That is negative, na. Like he should have also thought that. I mean, it's negative perception, na. His Vali is also great, so he should have think that Vali might have killed Dundubi. That is also possible case.
Sometimes it happens in the emotional stage, in the love. There is just like we can say our mother also in the child, hey beta, ध्यान से जाना. और फिर रास्ता देख के ही रास्ता क्रॉस करना व्हीकल देख के ना. अरे भाई मैं रोज जा रहा हूँ, why you are so much. It's a nature of the love to feel kind of insecurity about the loved one, like that. And you see, let's say Kwali is killed and Dundubi comes out, then he'll immediately kill Sugriv also. So it will be complete chaos for the country, their kingdom. So now, so somehow by Lord's arrangement, this is all by the Lord's arrangement. He thought that my brother is only killed by Dundubi. So before that fellow could come out, let me at least kill him. I cannot face to face, I cannot kill him. But this is the way I could kill him. So then he put the stone there and he came back. And not that I will be the king now, but then the people in the kingdom thought now anyway Wali is not there, so they made him the king. So then Wali came back and he was so angry, you rascal, you did all plotting and wanted to be the king. Then he bet him and all that.
And in Bharat Milap, like when Ram, when he, I mean, like Krishna is the one who told in Bhagavad Gita, "Prabhuji, we are not souls, we are body," and he asked Arjuna to fight, don't lament for the death and all. But when Rama heard about Dasratha, he was so much lamenting.
Oh, this see, he is Narakruti. He is like a human being, and he exhibits all those emotions. And apart from that, Dashrath is not some ordinary soul. No? He's a pure devotee of the Lord. For that matter, did not Arjun himself, as the first recipient of Bhagavad Gita knowledge, how did he cry so much when Abhimanyu died?
अच्छा.
और तो उसका तो फ्रेश नॉलेज था ना, अभी अभी तो थोड़े थोड़े दिन ही हुए, टोटल 18 दिन ही तो वार चला वो, है ना? तो पहले दिन सुना उसने भगवत गीता, ये कब हुआ होगा? ये लास्ट दिन भी नहीं है अभिमन्यु डेथ, है ना? हाँ, 11वां दिन। ये तो 11 डेज पहले जो उसने वन टाइम प्रोग्राम अटेंड किया, सब भूल गया। एंड कृष्णा बूढ़ा सारे, क्या अर्जुन पागल हो गई क्या? भूल गया क्या? 11 days back I told you the whole Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is not laughing at Arjun. He is allowing him to cry. Because emotions are allowed. Ultimately, there is no philosophy. We have only emotions. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu had asked His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj when he was student of marine engineering in Kolkata. So not student, I think he had passed out. He was doing job. So the ship reached Chennai, it seems. So he went to temple, and Bhanu Maharaj had already started the lecture. At the end, he asked any question. So he asked. He was new boy, somewhat. Kamal Lochan Prabhu, who is the president of Mira Road ISKCON Temple now. So now means for several 2 decades or so. So he asked Maharaj, what is the ultimate philosophy of this Gaudiya Sampradaya? So Maharaj said, ultimately there is no philosophy. Ultimately there are only emotions. You have to cry. Gaur Goswami Maharaj said, no, we have opened crying school. We teach how to cry. So we have to learn emotion. But it should not be sentimental. That's why we have so much philosophy. Our intelligence should be stout. But then ultimately, the heart should take over. Now, if our heart takes over, then heart is heartless only. Hard with material desire. So it will be all topsy-turvy, it will all be complex because we will mess up all the contamination and say that this is pure devotional service. I'm mad for Krishna. It will become Sahajiyasm and all that. So first, intelligence is made stouter. But ultimately, your intelligence is not required. Your emotions are required. If you read later sections of Nectar of Devotion, so many, yawning, drooling, so many things are there. Are all pure devotional service. Radharani gets so and this is devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna becomes very pleased. She's not speaking some philosophy. Krishna, you are not body. So that is not required. That should be in the background. और भी कुछ इमोशन दिखाना है क्या? See, there is a brain and there is heart. So heart we have to use. He says, na, aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravatati iti matva vajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Bhava. They worship me with all their hearts. And so many places Krishna says bhav word is there. That manmayamam upashita भवो ज्ञान तपसा पूता मद भावम आगता, मेरे भाव को प्राप्त हो गए, कृष्ण भावना भावित हुए. So bhav is required, which is part of the heart, means heart will exhibit. But what will happen now if we are all allowed this philosophy? Then we will become crazy. कोई साड़ी पहन के आएगा सहजिया, बोले मेरा ये भाव है कि मैं कृष्ण की दासी हूँ, गोपी हूँ, राधा रानी की सहेली हूँ. We will become crazy fellows, and that's how the sahajiyas and all are there. So first the intelligence is made stouter by giving understanding. Understand clearly what is the tattva properly, and then you come to the bhav. Yeah, your mind is purified, the false ego is dissolved, no more that contamination of subtle body. So then you will be able to exhibit pure bhav to Krishna. All your emotions will be. That's how a pure devotee sees somebody. Sometimes he may say thank you, and that is so appealing. People say that, Maharaj looked at me, Maharaj said thank you, or he smiled at me. अरे हमें इतना स्माइल दिया तुम्हें, क्या कभी एक बार भी बोला नहीं तुमने? हाँ? क्या गधा ही है? महाराज को स्माइल दिया, मोहिनी कितना स्माइल दिया? अरे आपके स्माइल कंटेमिनेटेड स्माइल है, महाराज के स्माइल में फॉल्सी को है ही नहीं, कुछ मटेरियल डिजायर है ही नहीं, तो इसलिए उनके स्माइल से पर्सन इज इम्प्रेस्ड, सोल इज टच्ड. हमारे से सोल टच ही नहीं होता है कि नहीं? Now you see the opposite sex and you smile at her. So you are touching her body, seeing the beauty. Now pure devotee sees the member of opposite, same girl, and he smiles. So he's touching the soul. He sees beyond the body. So he's जो सोल सोया है उसको उठा रहा है, अरे उठो भक्ति करो. हम तो वो सोल को देख ही नहीं पाते, वो पूरा बॉडी देख रहे हैं हम, क्या बॉडी है, क्या ब्यूटी है। तो वी स्माइल, देन आवर थिंग इज टचिंग ओनली द बॉडी ओनली, उसके परे जा ही नहीं पा रहा है वो। लेकिन प्योर डिवोटी क्रॉसेस ऑल द बैरियर्स and reaches directly the soul, shakes the soul and awakens him to reality. Okay.
Prabhuji, and when Ravan takes Sita, like I heard that in there is one curse now, Prabhuji, when he touches any other woman without her permission, he'll die.
Hmm.
So I heard that he will take the land and he takes away.
Land?
I mean, he takes the land where Sita he and keep.
That I don't know. But also other
Mhm.
Rama and somewhere it is said that he took the Maya Sita, hmm, because original Sita remained and Maya Sita only was produced. So because real Sita cannot be touched by Ravan at all. And afterwards, when the Agni Pariksha was done, when Sita jumps in the fire, so then real Sita comes out. And also when fire she enters, fire also cannot touch because he's Agni Dev. She's completely chaste lady. So Agni Dev cannot touch her, she cannot touch Agni Dev. So Agni Dev's lap, his wife Swaha sat. And on the lap of Swaha, Sita Devi sat. She's so chaste. Will not touch even Agni Dev also. Yes.
Like sometimes there's greed for like philosophy also, like many like seniors know so much philosophy, so even we want to like understand philosophy, but there is little tinge of like greed for like if we learn so much we can also tell to others, something like that. So like that greed is good, or that is with some like mix of.
We should read Prabhupada books mainly. Every day 1 hour ideally, 1 to 2 hours. And if that makes you philosopher and you want to discuss that, fine. You want to read some other philosophers? No, no, Prabhupada only, no? So then fine. But 1 to 2 hours you should read daily. And tell, Jare dekho tare kaho, Prabhupada Updesh, that is Krishna Upadesh. That is okay. That is perfection maybe. And in case some pride comes by reading Prabhupada books only, that will be removed. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevya. So Bhagavats are of two types, Grantha Bhagavat and Person Bhagavat. The Grantha Bhagavat. And in that Prabhupada is sitting, he will purify the heart of any wrong contamination that might come or might be existing earlier. Okay, any other? No, then I think we should end, no? We should not go over time too much. Other devotees will become angry upon me. Forgetting that yesterday I spoke on how to overcome anger. बोले प्रभु जी तो ग्रीडी है लेकिन हम तो एंग्री है बिकॉज वी आर हंग्री ऑल्सो है कि नहीं तो बेटर आई थिंक अवॉइड फर्दर ऑफेंस टू डिवोटीज आई विल नॉट गेट इनटू नेक्स्ट वन मोह है कहीं मैं ही मोहित न हो जाऊं ओके सो थैंक यू ऑल वेरी मच श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी